We're nearing the end of our road to Civil War with Avengers: Age of Ultron.
What the fuck?
What is up, YouTube? This is Psycho Culture's Anarchy here with a movie review for you on our road to Captain America Civil War with the Avengers: Age of Ultron. Now, everybody who's seen this movie knows that into this movie, there was a lot of hype, like crazy amounts of hype, because after the unanimous, super fucking amazing, just comic book sensation of the first Avengers, the stakes were high for this one because, well, expectations were high, because how do you compare golden perfection the first time, which I'm just preaching here because, you know, everybody loves the first one to an extent, and trying to follow up with another one? It's really, really hard. I mean, Marvel, when this movie came out last year, it was coming off of a great year for Marvel in 2014 with Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy. So people were really, really hoping and expecting Marvel to continue this high they're on with Avengers: Age of Ultron. And does it deliver? Well, let's see. Now, I remember looking back on it now. I saw it again recently for this review, and I do see a lot of great things in this, without a doubt. The chemistry, the acting, everything here, the action is done very, very, very well. I mean, the opening shot alone is just worth the admission, because, oh my god, just seeing the 6 Avengers, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Iron Man, Cap, Hulk, Thor, all of them just taking on Hydra, and this money shot of them just jumping together is one of the best opening scenes I've ever seen. The comedy is on point with Cap being made fun of because of his language. I love seeing the fact that Hawkeye is getting more use now. Also, the romance between Black Widow and Hulk is established in these first few minutes. So right then and there, that's how the movie opens up, with this awesome fucking shot. And in that opening, we also get to meet Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Now, Quicksilver, right off the bat, he's kind of cocky, he's arrogant, he knocks Hawkeye aside, he's like, ha ha ha, you didn't see that coming, boom, zips off. But in Scarlet Witch is the seed that is the botanist that plants the seed in Tony's mind. She shows him his worst nightmare, and it's actually a very justified nightmare. In the first Avengers, we saw him go up into a black hole, a portal into outer space. Like, it's not like he went all the way up into the sky, like past the Earth's atmosphere. No, there was a portal like 300 feet above his building, and now he's on the other side of space. He's in another place entirely. And he sees this invasion force, this alien force, and it haunts him. It still affects him to this day. It's not like some of the other Avengers could just brush it off or whatever, it's just another thing. Tony's like, dude, I saw the end of the world coming. So the fear stays with him, and that leads to the creation of Ultron. Now, this is why I like one of the best parts of the movie, just seeing the team interact. Joss Whedon does a spectacular job of blending together all these characters with bigger, larger-than-life personalities, and they make them so human, so interesting, so awesome to watch. Just seeing War Machine and Cap and Tony, Thor, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Hulk, Maria Hill, Helen Cho, all these characters, these different characters, interact so seamlessly together. It's the beauty of it. That's what I absolutely love about this movie. The interactions with the characters is just so natural. Now, let's get to Ultron. Ultron is a bit of a complicated villain in the eyes of many fans. I, for one, really, 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 really like him. He's really awesome. He has, like, the only thing I think they did wrong with Ultron is that they didn't make him menacing enough. Like, without a doubt, he actually is a very impactful villain. In the grander scheme of things, he is an impactful villain. Because of him, Sokovia was destroyed, the Avengers had to reform, Thor had to leave off-world, so many Avengers, like, went missing or dead, or decided to go decided to retire for a while. It just shows that Ultron was actually a very good villain. Not just in terms of personality and character, but in terms of narrative storytelling. He has had an impact. But the whole thing of him being created, taking out Jarvis, and instantly becoming evil. Like, I am evil instantly. I do kind of find that a little annoying. When we get to the end of this review, I'm going to point out a lot of deleted scenes that really pissed me off that should have been left in the movie. Ultron being created in like 5 seconds because he was on the internet. I mean, for the movie it works, but I really was hoping. This is where I really think Joss Whedon and Marvel should have gone the longer route. I really think this movie's biggest drawback is that it was not long enough. I mean, people say, oh, it's too long, 2 hours, 45 minutes, 2 hours, 40 minutes, that's too long, blah, blah, blah. Listen, if you could sit through The Lord of the Rings, which has runtimes ranging from 2 hours and 50 minutes to 4 hours, you could sit through a superhero movie, so long as it's good and the execution is good. That's all that matters. That's one of the main gripes I have with this movie. This movie was not long enough. It should have been longer. This is the thing. It's like, you are bringing back like 7, 8 characters who have been very well established and furthering their stories while introducing a bunch of new characters like Vision, Scarlet Witch, Ultron, and Quicksilver. Well, not really. But anyways, moving on with the plot. Ultron's created, and then he's instantly throwing the Avengers into disarray. That's actually one of the cool things. It's just like instantly, because of one thing, Ultron already is making them fight and turn against each other, as he said to Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch when they were recruited by him. And, by the way, this was a deleted scene that they didn't show when, before Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch met up with Ultron, there was a scene where Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were distributing, like, goods, clothes, food, anything to the people of Sokovia, showing the kind of people they are. Why did they delete that scene? I have no idea, but it would have added more character to them, where Scarlet Witch kind of keeps Quicksilver's, like, hot-tempered, like, you know, quick attitude in check, while he just shows he's a bit of a flirt, and he just wants to do good and all, and right by people. I don't know why they deleted that scene. I really think they should have kept that in. But anyways, as Ultron makes the Avengers start fighting amongst each other, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are recruited by Ultron, and instantly we are getting, like, the Avengers, they're trying to figure out, oh, what the hell, how are we going to find Ultron? He's in the internet, like, he's taking over everything. And they find out, oh, let's go to Africa. He's in Africa. They go to Africa, and then after that, they meet, what's his face? Andy Serkis, excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm a little brain dead. Exams, and the Avengers go to Africa to meet up with Andy Serkis, but really the Ultron and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver make it there first. And, well, we know Andy Serkis' Black Panther reference. He doesn't serve much purpose here other than, you know, Black Panther, woo! But then we get a fight scene between Thor and Captain America and Iron Man, and Black Widow and Hawkeye versus Ultron, and a bunch of thugs, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. And one of the themes that I'm going to bring up here later on is the Thor's hammer, how people have tried lifting it up, like every time somebody does something, they fall down with it, like Quicksilver did. But anyway, Scarlet Witch then gets into the minds of the Avengers. And that's when things get interesting. You see memories, things that could have been their worst nightmares come to pass. We see Thor get a vision of the future. We see Captain America in a life that could have been. We see Black Widow get revisited her time during the Black Widow program in Russia to make her become the assassin that he is. But, that she is. But Hawkeye, he's just like, listen, I already got the brain control, so no, not this time. But what is the interesting thing is something I never thought of. What did she show Hulk that made him go crazy? What did she show Hulk? But before Hulk goes on a rampage through Africa, one of the African cities, one of the things I love is how Ultron is just, he mercilessly taunts and makes fun of the Avengers, where he's just like, I think you're confusing peace with quiet. And the way he mocks Cap, he I think really knows how to nitpick the shit out of the Avengers and really kind of get under their skin, where he's just like, Captain America, God's righteous man, pretending you could live without a war. That is so awesome. I love Ultron in that regard. He really knows how to get under the skin of the Avengers. But then, once Hulk goes on a rampage, Tony calls in Veronica. And that Hulkbuster scene, holy shit. That is Avengers movie gold. You cannot go wrong there. That is one of the best things I've ever seen. My God, just wow. Just wow. Then we get to Clint Barton's farm. And this is where the movie kind of slows down a little, but it does develop Hawkeye a lot. This is one of the things I had a problem with in the first Avengers. Hawkeye was just there. Hawkeye in the comic books is one of the most badass Avengers because he is a normal human being. Yet he is so good at what he does. he stands amongst them as equals, not as like oh, he's a subordinate, he's just a trainee. No, Hawkeye is an equal in the comics with Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Iron Man, all these guys. So in this movie, they really do give him a development. He's a family man. He's a typical guy. He is like, you know, a normal human being. Black Widow has had her training since she was a kid, and Hulk has his accents. Everybody here has something special, but Hawkeye is just a man who's really good at archery. But it does kind of drag on. We get a little more development with Hulk and Black Widow. We get more like discussions, more interactions with the entire team, save for Thor, who goes off on his own mystery quest to figure out the vision he had. Which, again, it's another deleted scene where they actually have Thor with Eric Selvig go to this pond where he gets the vision, this thing where in the original it made no sense. But there were deleted scenes that Joss Whedon left out that added so much more to that scene that made much more sense. He got possessed by these spirits where Selvig and him were like tracking it down. All these deleted scenes just pissed me off because they would have fit so perfectly into the movie. But getting back on track, we then return with the Avengers mounting a new assault in Korea to get Ultron, get him away from this thing called I forgot what it is, the Cradle, to create this new body for Ultron, like a really, really fucking powerful body, like Superman, beyond Superman level. And one of the interesting things is, even though they know they have to destroy Ultron, Tony discreetly realizes he still wants to create a peacekeeping program. He's still scared. So, moving on, we then get Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch realizing their Ultron's true plan, his true motive. They turn on him, and then he captures Black Widow, and they all regroup at Avengers Tower. And that is when we get the birth of the Vision, courtesy of a thunderbolt from Mjolnir by Thor. And again, this is another deleted scene. Vision and Thor, like, they duke it out. Like, they fight. Like, not like where Thor just simply tosses Vision aside. No, they fight for a while. Vision charges at him. Everybody, like, you know, they're trying to beat each other up. But then Vision, once he gets thrown to the window to see the skyline of Manhattan and calms down, I really don't know why they deleted that. Another deleted scene that should have not been deleted. But anyways, Vision is so fascinating to look at. And he was one of the best parts of the movie. When I saw him, I was just like, wow, they pulled him off. When he grabbed Thor's hammer, he's like, here you go. Everyone was just like, whoa! Everyone, like, in the audience, when I first saw it back last year, they were like, the audience paused, and then everybody erupted, started screaming, cheering, like, woo! Oh, yeah! And now they know the plan. Ultron is going to turn Sokovia into a meteor to destroy... It's comic book shit, yo. It's ridiculous. In this one, Joss Whedon really embraced the whole, woo, comic books, we're crazy. And, like always, we get the action scenes, we get them fighting each other, we get them working together, the Avengers in one big circle, taking on Ultron's army drones and all that shit. We get Ultron, then, one of the interesting things I've never thought of is, like, you really can't kill Ultron necessarily. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. I'm going to ramble. But I've just literally just, for the past, I don't know how many minutes I've been recording for this, but I just kind of explained the whole movie for you guys. That they beat Ultron, yada yada yada, Vision and Ultron have a discussion, which is one of the best scenes again, where Vision destroys Ultron. But honestly, I'm thinking to myself, you really just, how do you kill Ultron? Like, I don't think we've seen the last of Ultron. Vision still has the Mind Stone. Thor goes off on his own to return to Asgard to learn more about the Infinity Stones, while there's a new group of Avengers. Thanos is on the move again, and this movie is still, in my personal opinion, a personal favorite of mine. I mean, sorry, I saw something there. I really don't see why people, you know, rag on this movie so much. This movie is clustered, but it is not Batman vs. Superman clustered. That's right, I went there, we're going there. Because Batman vs. Superman was a clusterfuck. This movie, while it was clustered, it at least still had a focus. It still had the end game. Batman vs. Superman, not so much. So I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. I still really like this movie. I love the Avengers. I love Joss Whedon. I cannot get enough of this movie. So guys, there's really not much else to say. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And as always, my friends, I went brain dead again. I really hate it when that happens. So yeah, to all the psychotics out there, you stay crazy, motherfuckers. You stay crazy. There.